Son, daughter, how good that you have come this far. How good that something inside you, even if small, even if confused, even if doubtful, decided to click, to stop, to listen. How good that among so many voices you gave me this moment, because yes, it was I who drew you here. I was the one who moved circumstances, feelings, and even this simple video just to reach your heart. Nothing is accidental when I'm involved. And now that you are here, silent inside, with open ears and a restless spirit, I need to speak to you, I need to alert you, because time is passing and there are things you need to see with your own eyes before it is too late. The clock is moving forward even when it seems everything is stopped. There is an invisible movement happening. While you breathe, decisions are being sealed, destinies aligned, paths opening or closing, all at a rhythm you do not perceive, but I govern. You feel it too, right? That sensation that something bigger is happening, that strange urgency, that weight that is not physical but presses your chest. That desire to change without knowing exactly what it is, the sky calling you. It is my spirit alerting you, because I do not play with time. I do not waste encounters. And if I drew you here, it is because something serious is happening behind what your eyes can see. Look, my son, my daughter, the world is noisy, distracted, too rushed. People run as if life were a clock that can be controlled, paused, extended, but it is not. Time is in my hands, and when I decide to accelerate a process, no one can stop it. When I decide to close a season, no human force can keep the doors open. And when I decide to awaken you, it is because you run the risk of falling asleep right at the most critical moment of your history. There is urgency in the air, and I am not talking about the hurry of men, but a spiritual urgency, a cry for you to see beyond the surface, beyond routine, beyond what they call normal. Because what is normal for the world is often fatal for your soul, and I need you to see with your own eyes what is happening around you. See how your faith has been suffocated little by little. See how your hope has been replaced by weariness. See how prayer lost space in your day, how my word became a distant echo, how your soul is too busy to be nourished by me. Look, son, look, daughter, I need you to wake up. Now do you realize what is happening? It's not just a phase, not just another difficult week. It is the clock of heaven marking a new time. It is the cycle of spiritual lethargy trying to stay alive while I call you to awaken. Traps are being prepared, distractions intensified, and decisions must be made because the time of neutrality is over. Either you position yourself or you will be pushed by what comes against you. Either you watch or you will be caught by what you did not see coming. Either you align with my will or you will be dragged by the winds of confusion. I do not want you to live on autopilot. I did not create you for that. You are not a number nor a lost face in the crowd, nor a body wandering among commitments. You are my creation, my project, my temple. And that is why I'm calling you, shaking you with this moment, because there is an alert sounding in heaven, and it is for you. The enemy of your soul knows your heart still holds promises. He knows inside you still beats a truth that I planted. That is why he wants to lull you with distractions, with comparisons, with vices disguised as relief, with toxic relationships disguised as company, with fears disguised as prudence. He wants you to accept a superficial life, a weak faith, an existence without depth. But I created you for deep waters. I called you to valleys and mountains. I formed you to be light even in the darkest room, and that is why I came to find you. That is why I drew you here, because, son, daughter, something is being prepared that you cannot yet see. Movements are happening in the heavenly realms. Decrees are being written, and your spiritual position will define much more than you imagine. Do not neglect it. Do not think you can leave it for later. Later is a dangerous illusion when the clock of heaven has already started to sound. Have you felt time passing faster? Have you noticed how days seem to rush, how news weighs more, how decisions demand more? It is not psychological, it is spiritual. The world is changing and my kingdom is moving with force. I am aligning my children, calling my warriors, restoring my prophets, positioning my chosen ones, and among them I want you. I chose you despite your flaws, despite your baggage, despite the days when your prayer is no more than a sigh. I do not see you as the world sees you. I see your essence. I see what I planted in you, and that is why I am here calling you urgently, because there is a battle happening and you can no longer remain lukewarm. The clock is moving forward, son. Time runs like a rushing river that does not return. The hands of heaven are not stopped. They turn with divine precision, and each turn carries a cry from above. There is something urgent in the air. The restlessness that does not come from common human anxiety, but from a deep movement emanating from my throne. It is as if heaven were whispering everywhere, in crowded streets, silent hallways, sleepless early mornings, cell phone notifications, tears held back slipping quietly in the dark. Time does not wait. It does not stop for indecision. It does not freeze for distraction, and many live as if they had an eternity of opportunities ahead, when in reality they are playing with the last ones. They live chasing applause and forget to seek me. They trade truth for immediate comfort. They sell their soul for a little approval. And in that rhythm they drift away without realizing it, like a loose boat in the sea being dragged by the waves of distraction. Opportunities do not repeat indefinitely. I am the God of second chances, yes, but I am also the God who closes cycles. I am patient but not permissive. And there are moments when the window closes, not because I stopped loving, but because I cannot allow my love to be treated with disdain. Many think there will always be a tomorrow, that there will always be a later, that there will always be time. But tomorrow is not guaranteed, and later may be too late. There are decisions that need to be made now, renunciations that cannot be postponed, burdens that must be left today. The time of indecision is over. I'm calling my people to a real positioning, to a living faith, to a commitment that goes beyond pretty words posted on social media. Because the heavens are in motion, and the kingdom does not wait for the undecided. And although I am the God of grace, and I am also the God of justice. And justice is not revenge, it is the restoration of order, correction out of love, separation between light and darkness. I see everything. I see those who pretend to be with me while feeding what I abhor. I see those who use my name but deny my voice. I see those who praise me with their lips but keep their hearts far away, sunk in pride, immorality, vanity, and rebellion. I am not a decorative idol on the shelf of religion. I am the Lord, and when I speak, it is not to entertain but to transform. When I move, it is not to provoke emotion, but to heal, to liberate, to awaken. And now I am speaking to you. Yes, to you. I drew you here because something serious must be considered, an urgency must be felt, a warning must be respected. I did not bring you here just to move you emotionally. Emotions pass. But what I want to plant in you is eternal. I'm not interested in touching your skin, but your spirit. I do not want a momentary shiver. I want a lasting surrender. I brought you here to confront you with love, and true love confronts, shakes, does not leave you comfortable when you're heading straight to the abyss. I am that love. I am the Father who prefers to lose the Son for a time rather than see him eternally far away. I love you too much to leave you where you are. I love you too much to allow you to be destroyed by the deception you insist on feeding. I need to wake you firmly because spiritual sleep is dangerous. And today, more than ever, many sleep with their eyes open. They sleep in churches, in their marriages, in their faith. They sleep while darkness advances silently, while morality disintegrates, while truth becomes an object of mockery. We see people mocking faith, ridiculing the sacred, trivializing life, exalting sin as if it were virtue. Families being destroyed, children losing innocence too soon, manipulated minds, hearts growing cold, and all this is part of a prophetic scenario. The love of many will grow cold, truth will be rejected, and the world will call evil good and good evil. It is written, and it is being fulfilled. But even in this dark scenario, I keep calling, keep raising my children, keep seeking those who still listen. I need to pull you before you sink further, because there are things you do not see, but that are about to chain you. Invisible chains are being forged amid wrong decisions, amid relationships that divert you, in habits that slowly corrupt your soul. And when you least expect it, you are chained by what you once swore to have under control. I see those chains forming. I see the knot tightening. I see your soul trying to scream amid a suffocating routine. That is why I came now. That is why I called you now. Because there is still time, because there is still a way out, because there is still hope. But there must be decision. Decisions are maturing in silence. Maybe you think no one notices, but I do. I hear your thoughts before you express them. I see your intentions before they become actions. And I know there is a war happening inside you, a desire to break with everything that distances you from me, but at the same time a fear to let go of what gives you immediate pleasure. But let me tell you this. Nothing the world offers is greater than what I have prepared for you. No momentary joy compares to the eternity I have to give you. No human approval is worth the price of losing your spiritual identity. I made you for the light, not for the shadows. I called you to be a son, not a slave to sin. And now is the moment. Either you turn your back on what destroys you, or what destroys you will end up devouring you. There are paths that if you continue on, then will take you to places that are not mine. Paths of pride, paths of escape, paths of omission, paths of falsehood, paths that seem promising but hide traps. Paths that seem promising but hide traps. I am the way, the truth, and the life. And outside of me all is deception, vanity, illusion. And that is why I say to you, listen to my voice now, now son, now daughter, not later, not tomorrow, not when you have time. Now close the eyes of the body and open the eyes of the spirit, because I am showing you signs. And whoever sees can no longer pretend not to have seen, can no longer act as if they had not heard, can no longer hide behind voluntary ignorance. You are not here by chance, you never were. Each of your steps was watched by me. Each of your tears was collected by me. Each of your prayers was heard by me, even those in which you could only say, help me. This is the moment. This is the voice. This is the warning. And after it comes responsibility. Yes, because whoever listens responds. Whoever sees decides. Whoever feels needs to act. And if you are feeling now, if your heart beats differently, if your eyes filled with tears without understanding why, it is because it is me. I am here, I am calling you, I am opening the door once more, and you need to enter. Now it depends on you, son. Now it depends on you, daughter. Heaven is silent, waiting for your answer. The angels are ready to act. My spirit is moving over you, but the key is in your hands. I'm here with open arms, with my love intact, with my grace renewed, with my spirit ready to guide you back. No matter how far you have gone, I know the way back. No matter how many times you have fallen, I still have strength to lift you. But you need to choose. You need to break with what paralyzes you. You need to let go of what drags you down. You need to surrender what you have been holding on to out of fear. The clock is ticking, and there is no more time to ignore what is eternal. This is the last call for many, the last door before the storm, the last warning before the closing. The sound of heaven is resonating on earth, and only the sensitive will hear it. If you heard it, then come. If you felt it, then respond. If you understood, then rise. Because I, the Lord, am igniting a flame over you now, a flame that burns fear, a flame that dissolves doubts, a flame that consumes the past and illuminates your future. A living, holy, burning flame that does not go out with time, nor with others' opinions, nor with life's storms. A flame that makes you remember you were called for much more. You were separated for the light. And today heaven calls you by your name. Come now, because this is the hour of return. This is the hour for your flame to burn again. You may wonder what this awakening looks like in the midst of your daily life, where the noise of the world often drowns out the whisper of your spirit. It is not always a thunderous call or a dramatic sign, but rather a subtle shifting, a gentle tug at your heart that invites you to pause and examine the soil where your soul is planted. What are you feeding it each day? What are you allowing to take root in your mind and heart? These questions are not mere curiosities. They are the very foundation upon which your spiritual health depends. Consider the moments when you feel drained, when your enthusiasm wanes, and your faith feels like a fragile ember, barely holding its glow. These are not coincidences or signs of weakness, but warnings from within, signals that your soul is craving nourishment and clarity. It is in these moments that you must choose to lean into the discomfort rather than run from it, to face the shadows that lurk in your routine, in your habits, in the subtle compromises you make to avoid confrontation with your true self. The enemy of your soul does not always attack with obvious weapons. Often he works through the mundane, the ordinary distractions that seem harmless but slowly erode your resolve. The endless scroll of meaningless content, the pursuit of fleeting pleasures, the acceptance of half-truths, these are the chains that bind you quietly. Recognizing these traps requires vigilance and honesty, a willingness to look beyond surface appearances and confront the reality of your spiritual condition. You might feel isolated in this struggle, as if you are the only one wrestling with doubts, fears, and the temptation to settle for less than what you were created for, but you are not alone. There is a vast army of souls awakening, of hearts breaking free from complacency, of spirits rising with renewed purpose. This is a movement not seen by human eyes, but felt deeply in the unseen realms. You are part of this awakening, whether you realize it or not, and your choices ripple beyond what you can perceive. Now is the time to cultivate a discipline of spiritual clarity. This does not mean adding burdensome rituals or striving to earn favor, but rather learning to discern the voice that truly guides you. It means developing a sensitivity to the subtle promptings that lead you away from destruction and toward life. It means being honest about what you tolerate in your thoughts, your conversations, your relationships, and your environment. Every choice matters because every choice either builds a fortress around your soul or leaves it vulnerable. You may have grown accustomed to living with a divided heart, torn between the desires of the flesh and the whispers of the spirit. This division creates a constant tension, a weariness that dulls your senses and clouds your vision. The invitation now is to pursue wholeness, to seek integration where your beliefs, your actions, and your desires align with the truth you know deep inside. This is not an easy path. It requires courage to face uncomfortable truths and to make changes that may unsettle your current comfort. Ask yourself, what are the lies I have accepted about myself? What narratives have I believed that keep me from stepping into the fullness of who I am? These questions are not meant to condemn, but to liberate. The truth you were made for is far greater than the limitations you have imposed on yourself or allowed others to place upon you. There is a divine design woven into your being that cannot be erased by failure, fear, or neglect. In the quiet moments when doubt creeps in, remember that your identity is not defined by your past mistakes or the opinions of others. It is anchored in a purpose that transcends circumstance. This purpose calls you to rise above the noise, to reclaim your spiritual inheritance, and to live with intention and passion. It is a call to be a light in the darkness, a voice of hope in despair, a source of peace amid chaos. You may feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of the challenges before you. The brokenness in your community, the moral decay you witness, the personal battles that seem unending. Yet remember that transformation begins with a single step, a single decision to surrender what holds you back and to embrace the path of renewal. It is in the small, consistent acts of faithfulness that the greatest changes take root. Do not underestimate the power of your prayers, your acts of kindness, your moments of courage. These are the seeds that will grow into a harvest of healing and restoration. Even when progress seems slow or invisible, trust that every effort made in alignment with truth is recorded in the unseen realms and will bear fruit in due season. There will be days when the weight of this call feels heavy, when the enemy's whispers grow louder, and the temptation to give up seems strong. In those times, remind yourself that you are not fighting alone. There is a strength available to you beyond your own, a source of courage that never fails. Reach out, even if only in silence, and allow that strength to fill your spirit and renew your resolve. Your journey is unique, shaped by your experiences, your struggles, and your victories. Do not compare your progress to others, for each path is different. Instead, focus on your own heart's posture. Are you moving toward greater truth, greater love, greater surrender? Are you willing to let go of what no longer serves you, even if it is familiar or comfortable? The road ahead may be challenging, but it is also filled with promise. There is a joy that comes from walking in alignment with your true purpose, a peace that surpasses understanding and a hope that anchors your soul in every storm. These are not abstract concepts, but living realities accessible to you now. Begin by creating space for reflection and silence in your daily routine. In the stillness, listen for the voice that calls you deeper. Let go of distractions that cloud your mind and heart. Cultivate relationships that encourage your growth and challenge your complacency. Seek wisdom from those who have walked the path before you and who embody the qualities you desire.